Clarence Thomas' service on the Supreme Court is a travesty. He is a corrupt man, and singularly, he has done more to erase the bonds of trust between the American people and the court than maybe any justice in American history. Clarence Thomas's service on the Supreme Court has been a disaster. He has sat on the court for over 30 years, and while there, he has engorged himself like a pig at the trough, taking and taking and taking, and then taking some more and getting some more. Free trips, free flights, on private jets, on helicopters, all over the world. Clarence Thomas, it turns out, is a kept man, kept by his very, very rich friends. Clarence Thomas presents himself as an American everyman, a man who likes to roll through the country in his RV with regular people. Bullshit. None of it's true. It's a scam. He is an elitist, a privileged, powerful, corrupt man, a taker of exquisite dimensions. Let's look at the things this Supreme Court justice has taken illegitimately and inappropriately during his service on the court. It is astounding and it is disgusting. According to ProPublica and the numbers, Clarence Thomas, since being on the Supreme Court, has led the good life and then some. He has taken 38 free vacations. And these aren't just any vacations. These are vacations to some of the most remote places in the world. And he got there on private jets and yachts. 26 private jet flights, 8 helicopter trips, 12 VIP passes to sporting events, 2 stays at luxury resorts in Florida and Jamaica, and 1 standing invite to an uber-exclusive golf club overlooking the Atlantic Ocean. There's a question at hand over Clarence Thomas. What is it exactly that these people who lavish the Thomases, including his insurrectionist, seditious, and extremist wife, in gifts, what is it that they want? What is it that they expect in return? This government of ours is supposed to be a government of the people, by the people, for the people. One of the hangovers of democracy, one of the effects that democracy causes, is a specific type of corruption. And Clarence Thomas is a pristine example of it. The American people must bring this to an end because the cost of the flights, all of them, the private planes, the helicopters, do you know who pays for that? The American people pay for it. They pay for it with the rising cost of cynicism. They pay for it because of the faithlessness it causes in the system. They pay for it because of the cynicism that it produces. What Clarence Thomas is doing is wrong. It is deeply immoral. He is a dishonest man. He is a man who has disgraced himself over and over and over again. His service on the nation's highest court has been a travesty. And the net effect of it is that millions and millions and millions of Americans agree with former Senator Al Franken, who says the court is no longer a legitimate institution, done in by the corruption, by the extremism of its members, the Trump judges. Clarence Thomas, though, stands apart. Thank you for listening to my political commentary. If you like what you heard today, please also consider subscribing to The Warning daily newsletter on Substack. Our democracy hangs in the balance. The 2024 presidential election is the most consequential in America's history. It's not hyperbole, it's a fact. That is why the mission of The Warning with Steve Schmidt is to help readers orient to the currents that are shaping our times and the unseen forces driving politics that are very rarely discussed on cable news. Please sign up at Steve Schmidt, SteveSchmidt.substack.com. Again, steveschmidt.substack.com, or at the link in the show notes section below. Thank you to each and every one of you for listening and watching. There is no institution that is more badly in need of reform than the United States Supreme Court. Chief Justice Roberts may not appreciate this, but the reputation of the court has been wrecked, and the number one culprit in wrecking it is Clarence Thomas. This man replaced Thurgood Marshall on the court, a giant. For more than 30 years, he has debased the court and disgraced himself. We now find out the extent of his corruption, and no doubt ProPublica will report more. Here's the thing. When the country was founded, people didn't live very long. That's not the case in the 2020s. Lifetime appointments are inappropriate for Supreme Court justices. This must be changed. We need a system where there are terms for justices. Otherwise, we will eventually have a court of former extremists who sit there in Dianne Feinstein's condition. Lifetime service should not mean people sitting in there who have lived a life of corruption into their early hundreds. Cleaning up the court is urgent business. That it has slid so far in the eyes of the American people, that it has lost its integrity and thus its trust, and then its dignity, is a national tragedy. And when you're wondering who is to blame for that, there is no person in our nation of 330 million who is more directly responsible than Clarence Thomas. His nomination was a mistake. His confirmation was a bigger one. And we, the people, have paid the price for his wretched service ever since. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to our channel so you never miss a video. Also, for more content just like this, please consider joining our Warning Premium community. You can find out more in the description below.